Make it official, yeah, why not?
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order our regular meeting, first meeting of the decade, as a matter of fact, January 23rd, 2020, meeting of the Kern County Planning Commission. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Ashley?
Here.
Mr. Judge?
Here?
Mr. McGivney? Ms. Skidmore? Here. Mr. Sprague?
Here.
Mr. Hall?
Here.
Mr. Murphy?
Here.
Ms. Simon?
Here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman, I
sure.
would just like to welcome everybody back for the new year and hope it's as successful next year as it was this last year. Really
Ditto.
enjoying this.
Thank you, thank you. You're going to stay with us for a while, you think, then?
Yeah,
Okay.
I hope. God willing.
God willing, there you go.
Okay, second item on, thank you for saying that, too, by the way. Second item on the agenda is Commissioner member announcement or reports. Seeing none, we will move to the approval of the minutes from the December 12th, 2019 meeting.
Mr. Chair, if there's no changes by commissioners, I would make a motion to approve the last agenda as written into the record by staff.
I will second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Next item is the cases withdrawn or request for continuance. Mr. Murphy, will you cover that, please?
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have 3 items this evening that are being recommended for a continuance by staff. The first is case number 1. This is CUP 11, map 214. The applicant is the Kern County Planning and Natural Resources Department. I would note that the staff report indicated that the project should be continued to February 13th. However, in the agenda, it's a typo, and it says February 9th. The staff recommendation is to continue this project to February 13th, 2020. The next item is case number 5. This is CUP 61, map 165. Our applicant is Ida Vea by Bruce Anderson. Staff is recommending this project be continued to February 27th, 2020. And our final item is CUP number 10, map 16526. Our applicant is Ken Mailer by Swanson Engineering, and staff is recommending that project be continued to April 9th, 2020. That completes the items on case number D that are being recommended for a continuance.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy.
Mr. Chairman, unless there's someone in difference up here, I would make a motion to continue items 1, 5, and 6 as read into the record by staff.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
4 ayes, 1 absent.
Next item on our agenda is the consent items. Mr. Murphy, will you cover these as well, please?
I will. Thank you again, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. These are items that are scheduled before your commission, which are being recommended for approval by staff. The applicant has been informed of any special conditions and has no objection. The hearing on these items may be expedited if no member of the commission or audiences wish to comment or ask any questions on the case. This evening, we have 3 items that are on the consent calendar. The first is case number 2. This is conditional use permit 22, map number 16525. Our applicant is Paul Ankerdoki. This project is located approximately 300 feet north of the corner of Shout Road and Santa Lucia Street in the Tehachapi area. The request before your commission is to allow a CUP to allow a liquefied petroleum gas bulk storage or distribution facility in excess of 2,000 gallon capacity on 2 parcels that are total 1.33 acres in an M1 SC district. The staff recommendation is to approve the conditional use permit in accordance with the recommended conditions and adopt the suggested findings as set forth in the draft resolution. The next item on consent is case number 3. This is conditional use permit number 27, map 152. Our applicant is Sprint Wireless by Yukon Group. This project is located at 3216 Neutrella Road in the Cantil area. It's approximately 2 miles south of the Muncie Road and Neutrella Road intersection. The request before your commission this evening is a conditional use permit that would allow for the construction of an 80-foot tall monopole wireless communication facility and an associated shelter in an A district. I would note that your commission did receive an addendum staff report on this item tonight. We received a comment letter just yesterday from the Desert Tortoise Preserve Committee. They've indicated that the proposed tower is located next to a desert tortoise research natural area and they were requesting that some additional conditions be added to help ensure that ravens and other avian species don't perch on the tower and would create any adverse impacts to the desert tortoises. Based on this comment letter, staff did review the conditions. We are recommending the condition 4D. The new condition would read that the applicant shall consult with the appropriate wildlife agency and provide design elements and guidelines that reduce or eliminate raven perching or any use of the tower by other avian species. The applicant has been informed of this condition and has no objections, and therefore staff is recommending this item remain on the consent calendar. However, we do have a revised recommendation. The recommendation now is to approve the conditional use permit in accordance with the recommended revised conditions, and adopt the suggested findings as set forth in the attached revised draft resolution. That includes the addition of condition 4D as read into the record today. And then our last item on consent is case number 4. This is Agricultural Preserve 18 inclusion. Our applicant is Sherry Dean Briscoe Trust. This project is located at 21975 Bear Valley Road, again in the Tehachapi area. The request before your commission is to include approximately 18 acres of land within the boundaries of Ag Preserve number 18. As indicated in the staff report, it is the applicant's intent to enter this property under the Williamson Act Land Use Contract Program. One of the first measures to do that is to make sure that you are located within the boundaries of an Ag Preserve. So that is the reason for the request. Staff has reviewed this project and is recommending that your commission recommend to the Board of Supervisors to approve the inclusion of approximately 18 acres into the boundaries of Agricultural Preserve number 18 as requested, adopt the suggested findings as set forth in the attached draft resolution. This completes the reading of the items on the consent calendar.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Is there anyone in the audience or on the commission that would like to remove either of these to be heard in their regular order? Okay. Seeing none, we entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, if there are no comments by the commissioners, I would make a motion to approve items 2, 3, and 4 as read into the record by staff.
I'd second that.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
4 ayes, 1 absent.
Thank you very much. Mr. Murphy, I think one of these at least goes on to the board, so will you read the right of repeal?
I will. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For projects where the Planning Commission action is final, those actions are subject to appeal to the Board of Supervisors by any interested person, and no development proposed by any application may be authorized until after the final date of appeal. The 2 items where the action was final for your commission this evening were items 2 and 3. An appeal may be filed with the Kern County Planning and Natural Resources Department located at 2700 M Street, Suite 100 in Bakersfield, with a filing fee of $540 on forms that we have available at the department. The filing must be made within 14 days of and including the date of this hearing. Any such appeal must be accompanied by the appeal fee, again, of $540. If no appeal is received, the action of your commission is final.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Next item on our agenda is public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for those folks that might like to come up and chat with us about any matter we have jurisdiction over that's not on tonight's agenda. Is there any presentation? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. I believe we have one case, correct, on the normal hearing. That is case number 7. Ms. Simon, are you going to cover that one?
Yes, I am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much, Chairman Ashley, and good evening, Commissioners. The request tonight is for a conditional use permit to allow the installation of a mobile home as a secondary dwelling that does not meet the age and architectural requirements, and a zone modification to allow an 18-foot front yard setback where a 25-foot front yard setback is required. The site is located at 2514 Lake Street in the East Bakersfield area. The project site consists of an 8,712 square foot parcel and is currently developed with a single-family stick-built residence, an accessory freestanding carport, and the requested mobile home. Properties surrounding the project site are developed with both single-family and multifamily residential uses, such as duplexes and 2 single-family residences on 1 lot, which are common in the surrounding R2 district. The applicant had placed the mobile home on site as dead storage prior to land use approval from this department, which constituted a violation. The applicant attended a violation hearing for the mobile home on July 18th, 2019, where the hearing officer determined a land use violation did exist, but the necessary findings could be made to retain the mobile home on site during the application process for the conditional use permit and the zone modification. Therefore, the requested mobile home, which is a 1977 24-foot by 60-foot Bindex model, has remained vacant and unoccupied during the application proceedings. Photographs have been included for your commissioner's reference. During the processing of this request, 6 comment letters have been received during the comment period from various county departments and affected agencies, with 1 letter from an area resident addressing, and we would like to address their concerns. Copies of all the correspondence that has been received is attached to your staff report for your commissioner's references. Comments of concern received from the surrounding property owner included the condition and maintenance of the mobile home, the length of storage time for the mobile home on site, and possible vagrancy issues. Staff has addressed each of these concerns as such within your staff report. As stated earlier, the applicant attended a violation hearing in July of 2019, which determined, excuse me, the applicant could retain the subject mobile home on site during the processing of both the conditional use permit and the zone modification, as long as the unit remained vacant and as is until such time as the request was heard before your commission. Therefore, the applicant was unable to proceed with any repairs or improvements until this time. The interim time between the violation hearing and tonight's hearing, the applicant had ongoing family medical hardship and required travel out of the country several times, which temporarily postponed the application process and prolonged the dead storage of the mobile home. Staff had then set this case as soon as possible to be heard for tonight's agenda after conferring with the applicant. Staff notes, if approved, the requested mobile home will be required to meet all building code and county development standards, including continual maintenance and proper repair, which would allow occupancy to the unit and prevent any possible vagrancy. Conditions recommending site improvements have also been included in the recommended conditions of approval to maintain the integrity of the surrounding neighborhood. Additionally, the proposal does meet the density of the R2 district and has satisfied all the bases of approval for the conditional use permit and the zone modification. Subsequent to the distribution of the staff report, staff identified a few clarifications that I'd like to go over for your commission. First, the conditional use permit draft resolution on page 1 reads conditional use permit 76, where it should read conditional use permit number 73. The second is condition 4B on page 3, which needs to be removed as it is a duplicate, and it is condition 6D on page 5. And finally, condition 2 on page 3 of the conditional use permit draft resolution should be revised to read, this approval authorizes conditional use permit to allow a 1977 24-foot by 60-foot Bindex model mobile home as a secondary dwelling that does not meet age and architectural requirements on an 712 square foot parcel in an R2 district. Any change in year or size of the mobile home shall be approved by the Director of the Kern County Planning and Natural Resources Department prior to issuance of site preparation or installation permits. Any additions and expansions to the approved plan may be subject to a formal modification to this new conditional use permit as determined by the Director of the Kern County Planning and Natural Resources Department. Staff continues to believe the request sufficiently demonstrates compliance with the necessary findings and therefore recommends your commission approve the conditional use permit and zone modification subject to the recommended conditions of approval as read into the record and adopt the suggested findings as set forth in the draft resolution. Thank you. This concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Simon. Is the project proponent in the audience? Would you like to speak? Okay. Come on up and please state your name and spell your last name for the record, please.
Buenas noches.
Juliana Morales, I'll be translating for him. He is my husband.
Okay.
He don't speak English.
Okay.
Ah,
Please spell your last name, please.
Ricardo Morales. Miren que la razón que estamos aquí es
The
que
reason why we're here,
entendemos que la persona que mandó la carta
there was a comment on the letter and we were here just to notify you.
que entendemos que su
We-
situación,
We do understand the situation,
pero que yo no puedo
but
hacer nada
he
hasta que
couldn't
si
do
no nos dan
anything
el
till we
permiso.
had the approval.
Y yo quiero remodelarla
But he
toda
is gonna willing to remodel the manufactured
para
home
que esté a las condiciones del
and the
vecindario.
conditions and everything on the neighborhood.
Y si necesito que hacer los cambios que tenga que hacer, los puedo hacer.
That any changes that he needs to do, anything, he's gonna be willing to do everything to be as the rest of the neighborhood homes.
Es todo.
That's it.
Buenas
Th-
noches.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Thank you, Mrs.
You're
Morales.
welcome.
We may have questions for you, so just, if you don't mind, be prepared to come back up.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
Is there any other commenters on this particular project? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing portion and go to the commission for their comments. If you have any.
On my side, no comments on my end. I think staff did a good job covering the items in the request, and it looks like the applicant is meeting the conditions set by the letter provided by the neighborhood to rectify the issues with the quality of the remodel. So as long as that's being met, I feel okay moving forward. Any other commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, just a question to staff. How do we monitor this project to make sure all the conditions that exist at this time with the mobile home are met, cured, and satisfactory for habitation? Is there a health inspection, or is there a building inspection?
Yes, Commissioner Sprague through the chair. There is a process where the building inspectors do go out and make sure that all of the conditions have been complied. We were specific in making sure that all the repairs are part of the conditions of approval, and that the mobile home on the property would be also painted to match the home on the property, so it has consistency and compatibility with not only the site but the neighborhood that also has duplexes and other such development.
I noticed also, and I just wanted to ask staff this question, that the applicant is occasionally parking an RV there also on the site. Is it legal to have an RV with the approval of these items on tonight with the home and the mobile home? Can he park his RV there and occupy that RV?
He can park the RV, however, he cannot occupy the RV. That is in the municipal code, I believe. That would have to be something that code compliance would take care of later if somebody were to report it. However, we don't have any information that anyone is occupying the RV at this time.
Okay, thank you. That's all my comments, thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Sprague. Anyone else?
I have some questions for staff.
Yeah.
What is the timeline for improvement for them to be able to make these renovations?
I believe it states in the conditions, there is a 1 year, sorry, let me look at this very quickly. I believe that the applicant has 1 year to complete all of the items as listed. And then they can request an extension of time. However, if an applicant does express that they need an extension of time, we require them to give us an anticipated completion date. We don't have any reason to believe that there would be an extension at this time, as the applicant has been wanting to have this move along quickly. However, there had been a hardship that they had that they needed to take care of, so.
Okay, and then after the renovations are made, your building inspector, Kern County building inspector will go out and then it'll come back to the commission, or will it just?
No, so the building inspector will go out and they will make sure that everything has been completed. And staff also at times will go out to make sure that there's a final inspection made and that everything has been completed.
And then I know mobile homes usually are under the jurisdiction of the state of California.
Yes.
So if there's any further issues, would that be under housing and community development with the state, or would that be under our jurisdiction as the county?
It depends on which issues that you may be speaking about.
Okay, so it could vary, right? in
It
the-
could vary. If a neighbor complains to our code compliance, we will evaluate it at that time and see which jurisdiction would be more likely to answer that question. So.
Okay. I have no other questions.
Thank you, Commissioner Skidmore.
If there's no other comments by any of your fellow commissioners, I'd make a motion to approve item number 7 as read into the record by staff.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
4 ayes, 1 absent.
Thank you very much. We also have a right to appeal on this. Mr. Murphy, we cover that?
We do, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Yes, this project is at final by your board or your commission, so if it is not appealed, the action is considered final. As a reminder, when that is the case, any appeal may be filed with the Kern County Planning and Natural Resources Department, located at 2700 M Street, Suite 100 in Bakersfield, with a filing fee on $540 of forms unavailable that we have at the department. The filing must be made within 14 days of and including the date of this hearing. If no appeal is received, again, the action of your commission is final.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Final item on this evening's agenda, excuse me, is a report of the nominating committee for next year's chair. Nominating committee this go-around consisted of myself and Chairman Sprague. And our recommendation, I think we need to take a vote, is that Commissioner Zhaj will assume the commissioner role, and that chairman, I mean, and the vice chairman role will be Commissioner Skidmore.
Who? Mr.
Pardon?
Who is this second?
Lauren.
Oh,
With that, if there's no additions or changes to that by any other commissioners, I would make a motion to approve that nomination for chair and vice chair as read. And that requires a second.
Well, I'll second it if that's appropriate. I'm happy to. I think
Okay.
I'm pretty confident about our
And
decisions.
we have to have a vote. And a
So,
vote.
so we have a motion and a second, so please cast your votes.
oh.
Oh, just, okay,
All
so we'll
ayes.
go all ayes.
Yeah.
Or if you're in favor,
Sorry.
please say aye.
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 Okay.
Aye.
No opposition, so be it. Congratulations to you both.
Thank
With-
you. Fellow commissioner, I would like to make a quick comment, if that's okay with you.
Please.
Well, I'd like to say thank you to my fellow commissioners for the nomination. I look forward to the chairmanship next year. It's been fun being the vice chair underneath you. So you've been a great leader, and it's just glad that we have such a great team here, and we work well together, and I look forward to keeping it going in 2020.
Thank you very much. Lauren, nothing to say? Okay. We will wait with bated breath. So that being said, I certainly entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion?
Second that?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Have a good evening. See you again in a couple of weeks,
All right.
3 weeks.
Okay. Okay.